Yeah. Sandman wants to know. He said, "Ask Nadu if knowing what he knows now, would he ever have dealt with rats?"
What a great question. And I don't
We
know
just
Sandman.
discussed this. We just
Yeah.
discussed this a little while ago. Go
I
ahead.
don't yeah, I don't know Sandman, but one of the best questions that has ever been asked. I'll tell you something, man. On a show idea for you, interview me about this whole thing I've done, all this stuff, because the first person that wants to speak to me, I'll put it all out there on how I feel about this. But
I'll
I'll tell
do it.
you,
Let's do it.
yeah, I'll tell you this. Um, the biggest mistake that I ever made was ever even just speaking to these people. And I even tried a little further. I tried to like maybe like put them onto a platform and give them an opportunity. What you have to understand about these people is, and one of the reasons Goodfellas is such a great film is at the end, it clearly tells you and shows you what an informant is willing to do to save himself.
Mhm.
And the guy discusses like they're rat, they'll do anything
Yeah.
to survive. And think about this, if they're gonna throw their family under the bus, their friends under the bus, their proverbial family under the bus, why do you think they're not gonna throw you under the bus or me or any of us? I use these people, and I will say, I was probably I mean, maybe outside of you or maybe one or two others, I never had dinner with these people. I never hung out with these people. I used them for what they were. They were a business to me. But even me, I was affected by it. No, I would have never interviewed these people. I would have never spoke to these people. Um, I have a newfound respect for the people that do, whether or not they live by a code or not. They don't deal with these people. They're the scum of the earth. So no, I would. It's the only mistake I felt I made doing this. They're all the
Um,
same.
yeah, well, I mean, I've definitely learned that.
Yeah, I think we all have. I mean, it's you know, and look, that's there are like 5 or 10 reasons why I stopped doing this, but that's one of the big ones. I don't there are certain guys that were in that life that, and I've talked to them personally about, they cooperated, and I would say we have decent relationships, me and them. They have their business, I have mine. Um, there are certain parts of them that I find to be, compelling, and I like speaking to
Of
them.
course, yeah.
But you know, the truth is, you don't really meet many of the people on here anyway. I've met you, you've met me, but that's just because we live near each other.
Yeah.
Um, I just kind of they do their thing and I do mine. But to answer your question, would I ever work with them? No,